Greetings from EPG Pathshala. In this module, we are going to talk about packet analysis, how to analyze the network traffic. We are going to check how ARP works, and then I'm going to teach you MAC flooding, and then we will later on analyze how we can get rid of this packet analysis. Why packet analysis is important? Because we want to learn who else is sniffing traffic on the network, determine how port scanners and other analysis tools work, find out which protocols are secure and which one pass traffic in the clear. We also want to identify the malicious traffic, and that only can be done by packet analysis. Learn how malware works or calls home, identifying bandwidth hogs, and if we want to perform intrusion analysis and learning what attackers were doing, packet analysis is important. How to identify malicious traffic in passing in the packet, because we know usually what is the header, what is the packet format, and then it would be followed by the data packet. So we can analyze, is there anything going malicious in the header, and then we can conclude that this is a malicious packet. Sometimes what happens that the attacker floods or pushes so many packets on the line so that the medium is jammed with packets and the receiver is not being able to process the packets, and then the bandwidth utilized would be more. This all we can do, or we can get rid through packet analysis. So if we want to do the packet analysis, the first question is how to capture the network traffic. So there are 6 ways to capture the traffic from a target device on a switched network. The first is port mirroring, the second is hubbing out using a tape, then ARP cache poisoning, flooding, DHCP redirection. First, I would like to discuss about what is a promiscuous mode. If I keep my network card in promiscuous mode, it receives all data it can see, not just the packets, those are destined to that network card. So this network card is usually called NIC, Network Interface Card, and one IP address is assigned to it. So when the traffic has been generated, the traffic which is having the IP address with our network interface card's IP address, then and then it would be delivered to this NIC, otherwise it would not be delivered. But if we configure the network interface card in the promiscuous mode, then it would get all the traffic even if it is not destined for that NIC. The device in non-promiscuous mode, NIC will drop a frame that is not addressed to it. NIC in promiscuous mode can capture frames from the data link layer all the way to application layer. Hubs and switches. Device in promiscuous mode, consider the RJ45 wall jack that is plugged in. The step was hubbing out and using tapes. Hubs are multi-port devices. The role of hub is just to repeat the packet. Hub is not at all intelligent. It does not think that for whom this packet is. Its job is just to get a packet and deliver the packet on the other side. So it is called multi-port repeater. Hubs usually operate at OSI layer 1, that is a physical layer, and sends all traffic to all ports. System on a hub all share the same broadcast and collision domain. Whenever 2 or more systems attempt to send packets at the same time on the same hub, there is a collision. As you would have guessed, traffic increases, it increases the number of collisions, and the overall effect is average throughput decreases. We have seen hubs, and the very well point noted is hubs are just repeater, they have no smartness. Let's talk about switches. They are intelligent devices. They segment the traffic by observing the source and destination MAC address of each data frame. Switch learns which device is connected to each of the active ports of the switch. So switch is not a dumb repeater. It determines who is the one that should receive the traffic, and it delivers it to that destination only. I would introduce the concept of content address memory, commonly called as CAM. Ethernet frames. So the frames, those travel on the wired network connected through RJ45 connector. It is usually called Ethernet frames. They come into the port of a switch. The switch examines the source MAC address of the frame and compares that address to what it has stored to a table in memory. This memory is known as a content addressable memory, usually CAM table. CAM table is RAM. It holds a lookup table that maps the MAC address to the switch port. I have shown how switch is connected to the memory segment. Hackers sniffing on one port will never see the traffic on other ports because traffic is segmented. So what we can see is switch 1 has 1, 2, 3, 4. There are A, B, C, D, and their addresses are 73A, 24B, 16D, and 12D. So MAC address associated with port number 4 is 12D, MAC address associated with port 2 is 24B, and MAC address associated with port number 1 is 73A. So 73A, 24B, 12D, they are nothing but the MAC addresses. The switches usually work at layer 2 and layer 3. Higher layers are capable to work with different headers. VLANs take some functionality of router. Virtual LAN, as we have seen, they are usually defined in the private network. The private network is then connected to internet, and internet back to the private network. Virtual LANs allow group of devices on different physical LAN segments to communicate with each other as if they were on the same logical LAN. To capture network traffic, attacker must position himself on local network or on a prominent intermediary point. If attacker is not attached at a critical point, then he would not be able to sense traffic. So attacker must position on itself or himself on local network, or as I said, on some strategic location and connected to a hub, switch or border router through which traffic passes. Next is what steps can be taken to redirect traffic to the sniffer. This is called active sniffing. It can be done by port mirroring on a managed switch, ARP cache flooding, DHCP redirection and interception with ICMP. The first we will be talking about managed and unmanaged switch. We already have seen that switch is an intelligent device. Now what is the term unmanaged and managed says? Unmanaged switch is like a plug and play device. You attach it to the network and then it works. Configuration is not being done, it is just a plug and play device. Managed device provides more functionality. First is setting priority of service, configuring unique VLANs. Now when I say VLAN, it strikes to you, it's a virtual LAN I am talking about. Using SNMP monitoring, SNMP says Simple Network Management Protocol. Setting up port mirroring. enabling a spanning tree algorithm. The main difference is managed switch allows to mirror a port. What is being done in port mirroring that we will see next. Port mirroring on a switch network, hard time for monitoring device to examine traffic. The traffic which is passing on the network, it's very difficult for a monitoring device to capture it and analyze it. What we can use to examine the traffic that is going on the network? Port mirroring. So purpose is clear, port mirroring is used to examine traffic. Mirroring overcomes port segmentation that is built into the switch and allows one port configured to receive copies of all packets from all other ports or just selected one. This says when we talked about switch, what we did a segmentation, means every port is having associated MAC address and it usually deals with different traffic. Now in mirroring, what we are doing, we are allowing only one port that is configured to receive all data from all other ports, or we can choose if we want to just capture data on only one port.